Hi guys, it's Ron and Debbie, and we're back for another edition of Ask Ron.
I'm Ron, she's Debbie.
I'm glad you clarified that. Okay, first question, Ron, is from Mary Steed.
Okay.
She says, can you tell me the best difference between lease options, acts, and subject to?
Well, Mary, that's a question that I can certainly answer for you. It's a basic question that tells me that you're new, but that's okay. We love questions from brand new folks as well. A lease option deal is where I lease it with the option to buy it, and I always get the right to sublease it to a tenant buyer and give them the right to buy it. So I lease it and then I sandwich lease it, as we call it. I never take title to the property, I never own it. New tenant buyer makes me payments, I pay rent underneath to the seller. Obviously there's a spread in the middle. I collect a down payment or a non-refundable deposit from my tenant buyer. I usually give the seller none. And there's almost always equity between what I'm paying the seller and what I have lease optioned it out for. Therefore, when my tenant buyer does cash me out, I get a check for the back end as well. An axe deal is where I lease option it from the seller and assign my contract to the buyer because I don't want to stay in it, largely because there's no reason for me to. Maybe I don't have a monthly payment spread. Maybe I'm paying retail price so there's no spread in the equity. Or maybe it's over leveraged so that there's more owed on it than it's worth, so I don't get any equity at all and it'll be years before I get any. So I just assign my contract, and my only consideration then is the assignment fee from the tenant buyer that moved into the house, and now the tenant buyer makes payments directly to the seller. I assign my rights. And then the subject to deal is where a seller calls me and they have a mortgage on their house and they elect to just deed me their house and the loan stays in their name. So we buy their house, what we call subject to the underlying debt, which means we take it over. We'll make payments on it when the seller and I agree that we start making them, but the loan stays in the seller's name, but title transfers to me or my land trust or my entity. So I'm buying the house subject to the underlying loan. I'm not assuming it. I'm not qualifying. I'm not going to any bank and asking for permission. The seller transfers ownership to me by signing a deed at closing. I own the house. The loan stays in their name until I pay it off. We have done across the nation thousands of those, and we still do one or two of those a month here in Jacksonville. So I hope that answers your question, and I hope you understood everything I said.
Okay, next question is from Russell Roth.
Hey Russell, does say where Russell's from?
He is asking about options in the state of Ohio.
Ohio, okay. That's where my wife's from, Russell. She was born and raised in Springfield, Ohio.
All right.
Where all of her relatives still live.
Oh, that's great. All right, his question's a little lengthy, Ron, so bear with me. Okay, Ron, I'm just starting out. I have two possible sellers, including one $500,000 home I may be able to do deals with. My problem is that my attorney, who is very experienced and even taught real estate school, has not given me comfort about the ability to assign options here. There's a lot of could be construed and an argument could still be made type talk.
Yeah.
He knows of no court cases in this area. He even says that a purchase agreement with damages limited to the deposit could still be interpreted as essentially an option. I don't want to be the first one to try this here and get sued by a real estate company. Do you know anyone who's done this in Ohio, perhaps?
All right, well, let me answer the question, Russell. First of all, every attorney's got their own opinion, and your attorney's got some good points and some bad points. The part about the damage deposit, as far as I'm concerned, is junk. You're not going to get sued because you have a contract to purchase the property and liquidated damages. And every real estate contract across the land, liquidated damages are built into the contract as to be only the deposit. However, there is Ohio legislation that could be construed that you need a license to assign an option. I've investigated that with some folks that I know there, and I've also talked to an attorney in Dayton, and he says that you don't. So it is an ambiguous question. There is no case law on it yet, but if you really want to be safe, why don't you just buy the property with a land contract and then assign the land contract, thus removing any lease option rule that may be construed that you need a license. I want you to use your attorney, and I want you to listen to his advice, but I also want you to actually take it with a grain of salt and do what you think is right. And if it's going to keep you awake at night and you're worried about it, just don't do it. go do what I said. Buy it on a land contract and sell it on a land contract. That law does not apply to when you buy and resell the property, only when there's an option involved.
Okay.
There is another way you can do it. You might want to talk to your attorney about this. You might want to see if you want to bring a realtor into your business perhaps, so that you can do it without a license, without having to worry about skirting the issue or getting attacked. If you have a realtor on your team, then obviously the argument that I'm operating as a realtor without a license goes away.
Okay, next question is from Alan Murray.
Alan Murray.
And Alan is from Homosassa,
Florida.
Yep.
Okay, Alan.
Okay, his question is, how do you go about showing properties that are occupied with tenants?
Well, I don't, Alan. We let the sellers show them. Assuming that the house is ready to show, we just tell the seller, listen, let me call you and I'll send people over, and the faster we can get somebody that you approve, then the faster we can start getting your payment made for you. So it's in their best interest to cooperate, and we have no problem getting them to cooperate. We just tell them, do not talk money with these folks. We'll call you and let you know when they're coming. Just show them the house and answer the questions about the house, and just let us know that they arrived, and you'll be helping us help you. Not a hard sale.
Okay. All right, our last question, Ron, is from Richard Hewitt.
Hey, Richard.
And Richard is from Jeddo, Michigan.
Hello.
Okay. What wording does the seller need to get in writing from the listing real estate agent to cancel the listing? We want to ensure that the seller can sell the property on their own without having to worry about an agent demanding a commission and wrecking the deal.
Oh, that's easy. Just get the agent to send the seller an email that they're willing to cancel the commission. To cancel the listing. That's all. There's no formal agreement or anything. All you need is evidence that the agent, well, you're not getting it. They're not sending it to you now. Don't you have any conversation with that listing agent. Make sure the seller contacts the listing agent, and the listing agent sends the seller an email that they're canceling the listing agreement. And when that takes place, that's all you really need.
So an email would suffice?
An email would suffice.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Okay, Ron, well, that's all we have for this week.
Okay. See you next week.